The little girl never looked at the soldiers. She looked only at Marcus and whispered one word: grandmother. Marcus had faced charging cavalry, that he had marched through storms, that he had watched friends die beside him. But nothing had ever made his sword feel this heavy. General Cassion's voice broke the silence. Do it. One swing, and Marcus would remain a hero of Rome. One refusal, and 20 years of honor would disappear forever. Marcus lowered the sword, not because he feared death, because he feared becoming someone he could never respect again. Only 3 days earlier, Marcus Varro had been one of Rome's most respected centurions. He never shouted. He never demanded loyalty. He earned it. When fear spread through the ranks, soldiers searched for one face. During battle, Marcus always stood in the front line. If I ask you to risk your life, he often told his men, mine belongs there first. That single sentence made ordinary soldiers follow him anywhere. One frightened recruit once asked him, Centurion, why do you remember every man's name? Marcus smiled. Because Rome counts soldiers. I count people. The young soldier never forgot those words. Neither did the men listening nearby. Then everything changed. A Roman supply convoy disappeared in the mountains. No witnesses. No stolen wagons. No evidence. General Cassion blamed the nearest village anyway. Not because he knew they were guilty. Because someone had to be afraid. Cassion looked at Marcus. Execute the elders. Marcus answered quietly. General, we found nothing. Cassion leaned closer. I didn't ask what you found. I gave you an order. Before anyone else could move, Livia stepped forward. I treated wounded strangers, she admitted. I never asked whose side they fought for. Then she looked directly at Marcus. If mercy is a crime, I am guilty. The little girl held her tighter. Marcus couldn't look away. Cassion placed the sword into Marcus's hand. A woman obeys. Marcus looked at the frightened child, then at Livia, then back at the blade. For the first time in 20 years, the greatest battle of his life would not be against an enemy. It would be against himself. Marcus had obeyed hundreds of orders. Some had haunted his sleep. Some had cost good men their lives. But never had he been ordered to kill someone he knew was innocent. The child squeezed Livia's hand tighter. Marcus closed his eyes. If he obeyed, Rome would praise him. If he refused, Rome would erase him. The sword struck the ground. No one breathed. Even the rain seemed to stop. Cassion's face hardened. You would shame Rome. Marcus lifted his head. No, I refuse to shame it. Cassion ripped the crimson crest from Marcus's helmet. From this moment, you are no centurion, no soldier, no citizen worthy of Rome. The helmet landed beside the sword. 20 years, gone at a single heartbeat. Cassion pointed toward Marcus. Arrest him. No one moved. Again he shouted. Still, not one soldier stepped forward. Marcus looked at the men he had protected for years. He gave them the smallest shake of his head. Don't. One by one, they lowered their eyes. Marcus walked away alone. Winter came. The famous centurion disappeared. The villagers knew him only as the quiet woodcutter. One afternoon, the young boy asked, Were you ever a soldier? Marcus smiled gently. No, the lie hurt more than the cold. Everything returned. Livia collapsed into Marcus's arms. They're trapped. She whispered between desperate breaths. Cassion led the legion into Black Wolf Canyon. The enemy is waiting. Marcus froze. The very man who had destroyed his life was marching thousands of innocent soldiers toward death. Marcus knew the canyon. There was only one hidden escape. Only one. And Cassion had never learned where it was. Marcus looked toward the mountains, then back at Livia. He had every reason to let Rome suffer. But the men inside that canyon had never betrayed him. Marcus tightened the old breastplate across his chest. It no longer belonged to Rome. It belonged to the man who had chosen mercy. Livia struggled to keep pace beside him. You owe them nothing, she said. Marcus never slowed. No, I owe myself the man I decided to become. And with that, he ran toward the army that had abandoned him. The mountain exploded. Snow, stone. Everything collapsed at once. Marcus threw himself behind a rock as the canyon vanished beneath a wall of white. The screams of hundreds of soldiers echoed through the valley. Silence. Marcus looked into the cloud of dust. I was too late. He heard steel strike steel. Cassion was alive, pinned beneath his horse. His sword lay just beyond his reach. The enemy saw him. Marcus saw him too. For one heartbeat, he stopped, one step backward, and the man who ruined his life would disappear forever. Instead, Marcus stepped forward. His gladius met the first attack with a crack that echoed through the canyon. Marcus cut away the tangled harness. "Move," he shouted. Cassian could barely stand. Marcus pulled him to his feet. This way, one by one, the surviving legion followed Marcus through the hidden mountain passage. When they emerged behind the enemy, the battle changed in an instant. By sunset, the canyon was silent, not because Rome had been stronger, because one man had refused to let hatred choose for him. Before the entire legion, Cassian lowered his head. For the first time in decades, the proud general had no command to give, only one sentence. "I judged you wrongly." He held out the crimson helmet. "Rome still needs you." Marcus looked at it for a long moment, then gently pushed it back. "I didn't save Rome. I saved the men." Without another word, he turned and walked away. This time, no one tried to stop him. History remembers emperors. It remembers victories. It remembers the names carved into monuments. But the greatest battles are often the ones no historian ever writes about. The battle between comfort and conscience, between obedience and integrity. One day, life will place a sword in your hand. It may not be made of iron. It may be a decision, a temptation, a chance to become someone you promised yourself you never would. When that day comes, remember Marcus, because the strongest people are not those who conquer others. They are the ones who refuse to surrender themselves. This is new birth. Build a character so strong that even when everything else is taken away, you still recognize the person staring back at you.